Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. So yesterday, we did a bunch of shows where we were reacting to people on ESPN who are going into a full-blown panic. Because it seems like all of this reporting that was going on over the last few weeks seems like it was just made up of a bunch of smoke and mirrors, man. You remember when Rich Paul went on the Pat McAfee show and said that there were 10 to 12 teams that were interested in LeBron? You remember that? You remember when Dave McMenamin said the Lakers, no, was it Dave? It was either Dave McMenamin or Brian Hornhurst. The Lakers and LeBron James are currently going back and forth. It was all a lie. None of this reporting was true. There was no communication. None whatsoever. And this morning, I came across a post from NBA Central that essentially said that, and this is pretty crazy, that that LeBron James is no longer a top priority for the Los Angeles Lakers, and his contract has now taken a backseat. Guys, I cannot tell you how this hilarious. I can't tell you how funny this is, because I know LeBron fans are suffering, and they deserve to suffer. LeBron James fans deserve to suffer because no one talks more trash than this fan base. No group of people have taken more pleasure in seeing the demise of other NBA players like Russell Westbrook and others more than LeBron fans. So I have absolutely zero sympathy for them, and they deserve everything that they have coming to them. They have screwed over a lot of players on the path to greatness for LeBron James, and now it's his turn, and I love every single moment of this. I love it, and I hope it doesn't stop. So let's put up the post here from NBA Central. This one says, finding a big man has become the Lakers' top priority, with LeBron James's contract taking a backseat for now, per Jake Fisher. Then we have another one from Bleacher Report, which was published last night. The Lakers have not offered LeBron a contract yet, per Shams. There has been no communication between the Lakers, between James and the Lakers since negotiation windows open. So that's a lie from Windhorst and all of these guys. But now I want to get to this article here from Fadeaway, because let's talk about what all of this means. It says, Lakers narrow offseason targeted 3 physical interior anchors. Let's continue on. The Los Angeles Lakers search for a starting center has reportedly entered a new phase. After weeks of exploring virtually every option on the market, the franchise has narrowed its focus to 3 physical interior anchors who fit Luka Doncic's vision for the team. According to reports, the Los Angeles Lakers, LA is centering its attention on Mitchell Robinson, Kel'el Ware, and Miles Turner as Ron Pelinka looks to satisfy Doncic's request for an elite rim running pick and roll partner. The Lakers have spent much of the offseason evaluating both star level and value options. Early reports linked them to players such as Jalen Duren, who I don't think he's going to move, Walker Kessler, Jared Allen, Nick Claxton. I would like Jared Allen a lot, and Isaiah Stewart. But circumstances around the league have significantly reduced those possibilities. Now the list appears much more defined. Mitchell Robinson represents perhaps the most traditional center available. The Knicks are reportedly open to letting him go, making Los Angeles one of the logical landing spots. Robinson averaged 5. His ability to generate second chance opportunities, finish jobs, and protect the paint would fit perfectly alongside Doncic, who consistently evaluated athletic rim running centers throughout his and then it goes on to say that Kel'el Ware offers an entirely different profile. And of course, we have Miles Turner, who I like. So Turner remains one of the NBA's premier two-way centers, averaging 11.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, 1.6 blocks, shooting 44% from the field and 38% from the three-point range. His ability to protect the rim while stretching opposing defenses would create ideal space for Doncic and Austin Reeves. Few centers possess both elite shot blocking instincts and reliable three-point shooting, making Turner one of the cleanest fits in the entire league. I like the Turner thing. Although I haven't spent much time evaluating the potential guys that they can go after. You guys know the Lakers are known for making magic happen when it comes to pulling off trades and stuff like that. But anyway, let's get back to the thesis of this video. What does all of this mean? This means that the Lakers are no longer thinking about LeBron. And if I'm the Lakers, if we're looking at how we're going to use our cap space, you would first want to go out there and exhaust all of these options. You want to go out there and spend as much money as you can to bolster your roster. We know that they need a big man. We know that DeAndre Ayton is not a serious person, and he should not be coming back to the team. And at the very best, he should be a backup center. I don't like Ayton at all. You got that. So if you have the wiggle room, which is $50 million to do something, if you can get a guy like Miles Turner, you go out there and pull the trigger and get that. You get it. You sign him. If you can get him, you get him. Then the money isn't finished yet because you now have to get some reliable wing defenders. Now, I like Rui Hachimura. He was the most consistent Laker you can make an argument for these playoffs in terms of his shooting percentages. But I don't think he's that great of a defender. And sometimes his offense kind of comes and goes. If I'm the Lakers, I would try to explore other players that can actually play lockdown defense because you need to insert some of these guys into the lineup. Also, something else worth bringing up. I also heard that the Lakers may risk losing Marcus Smart to the Houston Rockets. And Marcus Smart was arguably one of their better players in the playoff. He played very, very well for the Lakers. Very, very well. I like him. He's a glue guy. He plays defense. He makes winning plays. So if I'm the Lakers, you find a way to retain some of these guys. But my point is exhaust your cap space. And LeBron James will pick up the crumbs. That's how I look at it. That is how I look at it. If you're looking towards the future, I don't even know why you would pay LeBron over $10 million. I'm being dead serious with you. Let him go find his way, man. The guy's a billionaire. Let him go take a veteran minimum from another team and go figure it out. All of these people like Stephen A. Smith and all the blah, 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 blah. The Lakers are not going to win with, like, what are you talking about? Like as if we haven't watched. Didn't the Lakers have a 2-12 record in the playoff with LeBron James prior to this last postseason? Come on, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? And the minute they ran into some real competition, they got swept right out of the playoffs. What are we talking about? Right? So look, this is the new reality. And this is the reality that it needs to be, because if we're being realistic, LeBron is over 40-something years old, and no team should be thinking about giving a 40-something-year-old max dollars or even starting them. I know LeBron guys and media guys want to make it something else. Fine. If you guys think he's so great and he can do X, Y, and Z, let him go do it for another team. How about that? If you guys think he's so great, let him go do it for another team. That's all. I'm not saying LeBron has to retire, but let him go do it somewhere else. But it's clear that the Lakers are moving on, and they need to move on. It's time. It is bloody time to pack this guy up and move on. We have reached that point in the game, in the story. You know, and I think that a lot of this has to do with their new leadership. I think it was the former leadership that was very, very sentimental. They would have probably gave him a contract. But these guys, they seem serious. And now we can finally start taking the Lakers seriously again. I think we can take them seriously fully once LeBron leaves the franchise. Because if he's still there, there's still going to be that clown element to it. There's going to be that whole LeBron, Bronny, who are we going to blame, and all of this nonsense. I guarantee you, if he leaves this team, they're going to be better without him. I'm telling you right now, they were better without him when he didn't even play. So I mean that, LeBron fans, this is your luck. Good for you. This is your karma. You guys really trashed a lot of players throughout the years, and now it's your turn. Have fun. So as you guys know, the big talk of the town has been the Lakers not showing any interest whatsoever in bringing LeBron James back. As a matter of fact, we want to put up a post here from Bleacher Report that was published just yesterday. And it says this: the Lakers have not offered LeBron James a contract yet, per Shams. There has been no communication between James and the Lakers since the negotiation window opened. And I think the last day is June 30th. And then I think on July 1st, he can become an unrestricted free agent. Why is that important? Because the Lakers, if you saw how much fervor they put towards signing Austin Reeves, they didn't want him to go into the full free agency market, and they had first dibs because he was the team that he was on. They were the team that he was on. So they grabbed him up immediately. But in the case of LeBron, he's going to free agency, and this post generated 1.8 million views, and a lot of people were kind of saying what they were saying in the comments. But anyway, so yesterday one of our viewers left a comment on the channel, and he said, "Did you hear what was being said about Bronny James on ESPN LA?" Right? And I'm like, I had seen it on the kind of peripheral view of my computer. But it said something about Brian. He's like, they're talking about what's going to happen with Brian. So I click on the video, and it was Ramona Shelburne and another gentleman. I want to see, maybe I can get the guy's name, but for sure it was Ramona Shelburne, who's pretty much plugged in with the Lakers franchise, and the other person was Andy Kamenetsky, right? That's his name, Andy Kamenetsky. I hope I got his name right. And they were sitting there talking about what is going to be the future of Bronny James. Is he going to be able to survive on the Lakers or survive in the NBA if LeBron James leaves the Lakers? And I couldn't help but laughing my ass off when I saw this piece. So what I want to do now is I want to play the video for you guys. I want you guys to watch it, and then we're going to come back and start laughing at these people. Take a look at this video here.
It's always LeBron and Bronny. If I'm Bronny, I'm like, can you please leave me out of this? Like, I would like the opportunity to be my own person. It's his third year in the league. He doesn't need dad anymore. It's his third year. He's
okay.
21?
Let's just say this, Andy. How long do you think he stays on the roster if LeBron's not on the roster?
I have no idea.
I mean, he played some minutes in the playoffs last year, so that doesn't happen unless you've earned your minutes.
Sure.
That's not like, oh, your dad's on the team, we're being nice.
Right.
This is you had to, they don't throw you in a playoff game.
Right.
If you haven't progressed enough.
Agreed.
So, but he's also a smaller guard.
Oh, look.
You know what I mean? Like,
I get that, but it's at some point, if you're Bronny, if you want to turn this into an actual career, you need to prove yourself on your own merits. Yeah. And I think the longer you go attached to LeBron, the more you seem like a novelty act, or like truly you are only there because of LeBron. And like at some point, man, and he said himself, and by the way, these are not digs at Bronny.
Yeah.
My interactions with him, I've been really impressed.
Me too.
I think he's a really grounded, hardworking kid.
Yep.
I think he wants the best things for himself. He's about the right stuff. But like at some point, you don't want to be seen just as a byproduct of your dad and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like if he's going to fall out of the league, it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, but the opportunity was created by his dad.
Of course. There's no question.
So like, I don't think he thinks that deeply about this. I think he's just kind of focused on himself and trying to get better. And I think that's why he's gotten to where he has.
Sure.
But look, the protection of his father being on the roster is still important. I don't think he's established enough to where he can really go out on his own.
I would agree with that, but the point being, LeBron's only going to be playing so much longer anyway. Like this point is coming sooner.
Yeah,
sooner than later. But regardless, there's an old world style roster build approach by the Heat.
Get 2 or 3 stars and then worry about the rest of it later. When the big 3 went down to Miami, Brosh and Wade and LeBron, they had like one guy under contract besides those 2. I think it was it Mario Chalmers? Somebody like, there's like one player and they had to fill the rest of the roster out with minimum guys. This is, you could do that in 2008. I don't know that you can do that in 2026. Like the Lakers were not all healthy last year, so we can't necessarily judge that. But those 3 stars, were they enough to win? It's in the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those players mattered too,
right? And JJ and Rob talked about it during their exit interviews that they've got to get better depth past roster spots 8 through 15. Like those matter. Like it matters to have guys who can actually play. And what the Heat did with the Heatles, it was 3 guys, and they were all in their primes. Like Giannis is on the back end of his prime with more injuries now, and Bam is a really good player, but I don't know if he's a put a team on his back type of player. Like and that's not shade at Bam. He's really, really good. It's just the levels to doing this, they're really high and they're really hard.
Yeah, and I think what's hard is they it's just the rules.
So you saw it there. What are my thoughts? This is beyond hilarious. I'm being sincere with you. This is beyond hilarious. But more importantly, it speaks to the question of, did Bronny deserve to be in the NBA? And I'm not trying to be funny. Because if we have to ask how you'll survive in the NBA without LeBron, it means that you're only in the league because of him. I mean, this is crazy. You've even had some people come up with various suggestions like, oh, you know what? They should put LeBron James and Bronny James in a package. What do you mean? Didn't Bronny James come into the NBA to be his own person and forge his own path and, become his own man and have his own career? So what would that have to do with LeBron James? If I'm Bronny, I don't want to play with. So you're telling me if LeBron gets moved to another team, You're telling me Bronny's going to follow him there? That's crazy. Like, that is absolutely crazy. Now, we do know that LeBron has made it clear that one of his top priorities, certainly the highlight of his entire NBA career, has been playing basketball with his son. I can totally get that. And I 100% believe him. Come on, as a parent, I'm sure many of you guys watching this show as a parent, like, come on, that would be pretty incredible, right? So I 100% believe him. So from his standpoint, I can see him wanting to play with his son. That's pretty normal from a parent that loves their kid. But for the case of them asking this question, like, can Bronny survive without LeBron? This is craziness. Bronny's not no little baby. Bronny's a professional athlete. He's in his early 20s. He's like a lot of these young guys. He's older. Matter of fact, he could be some of these rookies' grandfather. These new guys that are coming into, like, Bronny ain't no small boy. He's a young man, and he's a professional. What are we talking about? Is he going to be able to survive without LeBron there? Are you kidding me? Like, ESPN is just in scramble mode. They are falling apart. Yesterday, they went into a full-blown panic about why didn't the Lakers prioritize LeBron James? You heard Kendrick Perkins out there losing his mind. Why didn't they do this? They got the wrong thing wrong. It's like, what do you mean? Why would they prioritize LeBron over Austin Reeves? That makes no damn sense. Of course you prioritize signing Reeves. For a few reasons. Number one, he's younger. So your team is getting more youthful. That's the first reason. The second reason is you gave him a 4-year contract, and if it doesn't work out, you can move him. I've been saying this. But you want them to prioritize the guy that's turning 42 to go give him a max whatever contract that you can't even trade in the field. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about here? But I thought this was pretty hilarious. This is something that truly intrigues me. We did a live about it 2 days ago where we were talking about there being interest between the Toronto Raptors and Kawhi Leonard. Now, as you guys know, Kawhi Leonard went to the Raptors in 2018, 19, whatever, and he won a championship his first year with the team. It was an incredible run, one of the best playoff runs we've ever seen by an individual player. And with 1 year, he was able to deliver a championship for the Toronto Raptors, something that they had never done before. I don't even think they went to the finals prior to that, but I could be wrong. But as you guys know, he left the Raptors, decided to go join the Clippers. At the time, a lot of people were saying that his best option would have been to remain with the Raptors and do at least another year. I tend to agree with them, but hey, he wanted a new challenge and all of that, and he chose Paul George. According to what I heard at the time, he wanted Masai Ujiri to bring in Paul George for Pascal Siakam. Masai wasn't willing to do that, and then Kawhi Leonard said, okay, I'm packing my bags, and I'm heading to California. So we have that there. Now, as you guys know, it's been a failure with the Clippers. It has been a failure. There's no other way to slice it. The best opportunity they had to win a championship was the first year, but of course they blew a 3-1 lead in the bubble. So ever since then, it's just been a lot of high hopes and and a lot of disappointment all throughout the years. Kawhi getting injured in the play, just a bunch of it's just been bad. But last year, however, Kawhi Leonard had an all NBA caliber. Yeah, I think he was on the second team, career high in scoring, if I'm not mistaken. He had a fantastic year. But as you guys know, this whole lawsuit with aspiration and all of that was looming. And a lot of us are kind of waiting for the conclusion of this lawsuit. But many people feel like if it comes out and is bad for Kawhi, they could possibly cause him to forfeit his salary. Now, the previous reporting that we did was essentially saying that Kawhi Leonard would be open to signing with the Toronto Raptors if they were willing to give him a longer deal. I want to see if we can actually pull up the post here. Yes, we have it right here. So this is the post here that we want to put up, and it says this: Kawhi Leonard would be open to signing an extension if the Toronto Raptors traded for him this offseason. The Raptors have interest in reuniting with Kawhi and may pursue a trade for him once his investigation clears. And he would be interested, essentially, and you guys, I'm sure have seen the post. He will be interested as long as he can get a contract extension. So anyway, I was searching a little bit on this story here with Kawhi, and I came across an article from Fadeaway World where it was actually Fadeaway World and Yahoo Sports, where they were presenting some real avenues for Kawhi Leonard possibly reuniting with the Toronto Raptors. So that's what I want to talk about today. So let's get into this first one. It says, how the Toronto Raptors could acquire Kawhi Leonard in a blockbuster scenario. Seeing Kawhi Leonard back with the Raptors sounds crazy, but it's not as crazy as it did 1 week ago. The noise started after Jake Fisher reported that Leonard would be open to signing an extension with the two teams outside the Clippers, the Raptors and the Spurs. That's the important part. This is not only maybe he goes back for fun, it's about an extension. He will become a free agent in 2027, and no team is paying a huge trade price for a 35-year-old star if he can leave 1 year later. The Spurs are the other team in the conversation, and that also makes sense on the court. Leonard next to Victor Wembanyama would be insane if everyone is healthy. But but history there is ugly. The exit from the Spurs was bad, and the fan reaction is still not soft. So yes, the Spurs are named to watch, but Toronto feels more natural as a nostalgia team. And come on, Raptors know this movie already. They traded for Kawhi, blah, 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 blah. So now we have another report here. This is from Yahoo Sports that I want to read from as well. It says 3 trade ideas Raptors could explore for Clippers star Kawhi Leonard. It said the Toronto Raptors are amongst the teams that could trade for Los Angeles Clippers star for Kawhi Leonard. Leonard spent the 2018-19 campaign with the Raptors, where he helped the franchise win its first and only title to date. He jetted for the Clippers the following season and has been in Tinseltown ever since. But with his contract nearly expiring, the team could look to trade its former star free agent. The Raptors have some assets to offer the Clippers, making a deal quite possible between the two sides. Here's 3 mock trades. Here's what 3 mock trades look like. Kawhi Leonard, Brandon Ingram swap. If there was a player Leonard would take over in the starting lineup, it would be Ingram, the team's starting power forward. A swap like this would give the Raptors a tentative starting lineup, and essentially they get younger. The second one is get value for RJ Barrett's expiring deal. In this potential deal, the Raptors would have to give up more assets to satisfy Leonard's hefty $50 million salary this upcoming season, but they would eliminate their forward mess in their depth chart. And then the last one, go all out, make it a blockbuster. This trade will give the Raptors a completely new look with 2 fresh starters in Leonard and Garland. The Raptors were reportedly interested in trading for LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets, so their desire to acquire Garland could make sense. The only way the Raptors would be able to take on both Leonard and Garland's contracts, which totals over $92 million, would be to include Portal's deal, which is valued at $100 million over the next 4 seasons. Adding that deal alongside Garland would raise the price for the Raptors. So, and the article just goes on. You guys can go check it out and read it. So there's some real possibilities why this could happen. Now, here's why I think that this makes sense from a basketball standpoint, and it's exciting to me. Number one, I think it would give Kawhi Leonard a breath of fresh air. You're going back to a place that you're familiar with. I have no doubt that the city would embrace him. Yes, a lot of people are upset that he left, but come on. The guy won you a championship. I think the majority of people are going to be happy for him to return back to Toronto, and he's still an all NBA caliber player. So it's not like as if he's washed up or anything like that. He's still a great player, all-star caliber player, and all of that. So it'll be a fresh start for Kawhi. I think it would kind of revitalize some of his fans as well. And then the next thing is the Raptors were a playoff team. I think last year they were the 4th or 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. So it's not like as if you're going to a bottom of the barrel a team in the Eastern Conference, and that would be an upgrade, by the way, from where he was with the Clippers, who were like a play-in team last year. So you're going from being on a play-in team to a team that was actually in the playoffs. So those 2 things alone would make it a major upgrade. And in terms of the Clippers, they kind of move off from that saga. They can get younger and just move on, right? So something I'm very interested in, and I wouldn't be mad if it happens.